Grab your cocktail shaker, kick back, and get ready for the big fat party. Greg and his band of unintelligibles are back, mixing, drinking, reviewing, and discussing Bloody Marys and all that goes with them. My Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast, where you'll never drink alone.
Welcome to episode 22 of My Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast from Wisconsin's sunny West Coast. Why drink alone when you can drink with us?
Why?
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for joining us for this fall pledge drive. We know how much you enjoy drinking with us. It's your turn to buy a round. Our goal today is to hear from 100 of you and enough pledges to keep us drunk through Christmas. So who...
That won't be tough.
Yeah, well, we need, really, listener support is actually the largest portion of our funding. I'm not sure a lot of people know that. They probably don't because it isn't true at all.
The Corporation for Public Broadcasting has been cutting back on our funding. That's why we're relying on...
I don't remember when I got a check from them last.
If you did, we didn't see any of it.
Right. And our people who support us are friends of the Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast, who I always talk about and I thank, and they share our posts. I want to talk to you guys directly. Don't share it. Just make a donation. Go to mybigfatbloodymary.com, click on the PayPal button, and just give till it hurts.
And if you see me on the street, you can just give it to me directly.
You can actually hit us up directly with cash. And, you know, if you've got a really, really good accountant, maybe you can write that off.
Or you can buy me a drink.
Somebody who's really slick might be able to do that. Well, I'm Joaquin Kastenbaum Romano, and I'm going to be your host. Joining me today for our special public radio edition,
Scarlett Corey Komsky.
Caleb Argawal Obi.
Sasha Hong Stamberg.
and
Eloise Ajram Baum.
That's part of our obscure profanity.
And no public radio program would be complete without the musings of...
Thank you so much, Greg. This is Garrison Gaylor. Garrison Gaylor, so happy to be here on my Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast. So
Where the hell were you earlier?
so nice to be here.
That's damn nice
Did you
to
get caught in
have you.
traffic?
Yeah, and of course we're missing Erica today, but we
Yes,
brought in some heavy hitters to kind of try to fill in. So why don't you go ahead, call us now, and make a pledge at 1-800-PAPA. Help support the drunks you love. Well, where can you find us if you are interested in what we're doing during the week? Because we're not just always here in this fancy studio recording. We're out and about. We're taking pictures of Bloody Marys and
Drinking them.
drinking them.
Of course.
So you can follow us on Facebook at My Big Fat Bloody Mary Podcast, or on the web, mybigfatbloodymary.com. That's also where you can make a donation to the program that you love so much, mybigfatbloodymary.com. Hit us up on Twitter at My Big Fat Bloody Mary, and on Instagram, Big Fat Bloody Mary, and on Snapchat, Big Papa. I'd like to take a moment to point out that I appreciate it when our listeners refer to me as
Big Papa.
Thank you. Well, last week we reviewed Finest Call Bloody Mary Mix.
I love the name.
Using the term loosely.
Wow, that was a horse shit mix. Honest to God, I don't want to scare away would-be contributors of mixes.
I don't think that'd be a problem.
I mean, if you have a really horrible mix like that, you can send it to us, but it might not behoove you. Sorry, not sorry. But we had a lot of fun with that. A lot of it actually went down the sink. But go ahead and take a listen to episode 21 if you want to hear.
You're not even
how that
fussy.
went. I know, but I have my limits. Yeah. And we had Jack fill in. Lynn was gone last week, and Jack sang a very moving rendition of "Can You Feel the Love." I mean, there's nothing quite like hearing Jack Nicholson lay down a Disney song. And do you know what Japanese rain goggles are? Go back to episode 21. That's where you can find out more about that. So that was last week. Now this week is pretty unique. As you know, this is our public radio edition. And if you enjoy what you're hearing, we encourage you to go to mybigfatbloodymary.com.
Or call 1-800-PAPA.
That's right.
You missed
And
the 3 digits in there.
helps. That's not a real phone number.
I hope it's not somebody's phone number.
So we're gonna get our drink on, and we're actually doing a book review, and that's why we're feeling a bit highbrow. You know, we're doing a book review. Personally, I'm not a strong reader per se, but I'm feeling a little bit smarter than normal today.
It's okay, Joaquin.
You're
Yeah.
looking smarter.
Thank you. You're drunk, aren't you? So
Getting there.
Yeah. The book that we're going to review is called Classic Cocktails Reconsidered, Reinvented. It's by Michael Turbach and Julia Hastings Black. And I think Julia's got kind of a public radio name, doesn't she?
She does. It's a hyphen.
Julia Hastings Black. She could be on NPR. And it's published by Skyhorse Publishing, and they were kind enough to send us a copy for us to review. So we're going to be doing that.
And we're also going to be drinking the cocktails.
Gibbon. Yeah, so I pulled out, this book is, it's really nice. It has a nice foreword. It has some tips on what kind of tools you want to have.
Made me want to
for
go out and get some
mixology.
tools.
Yeah, you might want to just arm yourself with an arsenal of cocktail spoons and shakers and all of that good stuff. But then it's just chock full of recipes. They start with sort of the classic, and then they have these mixologists who contribute little variations, tweaks. And so I picked 2 of those recipes that I made up, and we're going to be drinking those and talking about them. Lynn, I understand you're going to do a duet. This is kind of a first, isn't
It's
it?
going to be weird.
Yeah. Who did you pick someone to sing it with? or-
Garrison.
Absolutely. I'm so looking forward to
I wish it was Jack.
Scarlett, it's gonna be magical. I'm
Magical.
so looking forward
My name
to
is
it.
Scarlett. Did you forget?
Wow. Yes. I fell out of public radio mode.
We didn't get into
So-
it really.
Yeah. No, probably not. And I believe Scarlett has a question too to field. So she'll
I just
she'll
thought
field that.
imagine.
Yeah, that's all
He's
you can
not
do.
sharing them with me beforehand now.
I like to spring them on you. And we've got obscure profanity. Erica's not here, but Sasha has generously offered to step in and share some lesser known profanity
I prefer
today.
Sasha Hung.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's already highbrow back there.
Yeah. Well, I want to take a minute to just remind our listeners that you can keep this programming going through a lot of different methods. You might want to ask your HR department if your company offers a matching funds program.
Corporate sponsorship.
And we will accept corporate sponsorship. And I would encourage you to be very aggressive when you go to your HR department. Don't take no for an answer. I'd be very insistent. Maybe you've got an old car that you're going to trade up. Why don't you
Or a
just go ahead?
boat.
You can donate that to us.
A pontoon would be wonderful.
We can accept that as well.
We could start doing our recordings from that.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Yeah.
While you're at it, you could ask your bartender if you could just get 2 for 1. Mm-hmm. You know,
Sure. Why not? Why not?
Two pledges
impromptu
for
happy hour,
one?
Something. I
Right.
don't know.
Well, let's get our drink on. Right? We're sitting here talking.
Damn it,
about
I'm thirsty.
drinks. This is nonsense.
Can you say "damn it" on during a pledge drive?
No, you cannot.
Shit.
You absolutely
You
can't.
can't say that either.
So the first recipe that I grabbed out of here, I thought had to be a Bloody Mary.
Enough of the garnish. Let's get to the drink.
So what I made was a recipe called the Bloody Bull. I made another one as well. We'll go to that one next. But this is an example of how this book is laid out. They'll do the classic, then they have a classic Bloody Mary recipe. But then this is a slight variation, something that occurred kind of after the original came out. It's called the Bloody Bull, and it's described as a Bloody Mary-like sipper that swaps meaty broth for tomato
It
juice.
has a lot of broth.
Yeah, and it was apparently thought up at Detroit's Caucus Club around 1952. It was called the Bull Shot at that time. Not to be outdone, the white-coated technicians behind the bar at Brennan's restaurant in New Orleans put back the tomato juice along with the beef broth for a drink to accompany breakfast at Brennan's, a long-standing French Quarter tradition. So what we've got here is a fairly standard Bloody Mary mix, but about half of what would be tomato juice is beef broth. And it has tomato juice, Worcestershire, some beef broth, vodka, celery salt, Tabasco, black pepper. And so I've made this up in advance, and we've all poured it. And let's give it a little taste.
How about that chaser?
Yes.
Chaser. We're in Wisconsin.
I need to be chased.
Okay.
Chased.
Chase that.
CHASTE.
We could make arrangements for that. Here we go.
Yo, whoa.
We've got our chaser. So what you have here is, I think of the spectrum of bloodies, at one end being savory, and the other end being more fresh. You know, one extreme would be, I don't know, some of those real fruit juice, lime, maybe even mixed with tequila.
Yeah.
And I'd say this is at the extreme opposite end of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very beefy and bold.
Right. Yeah.
You could probably heat
does.
it up and serve it as a bouillon beef soup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a
yes.
comfort bloody.
When you're ill,
Yeah.
in place of chicken soup for
Yeah.
a cold.
Maybe.
There you go.
Put some basil in it, and you could really mix it up.
Caleb?
Just Joaquin, I just want to keep in mind that phone number, 1-800-PAPA, as well as the active.
Big.
Go to the website and give.
Big,
Yeah.
big pop-up.
Thanks for bringing that up. And that
What
reminds
do they get
me.
for a $20 donation?
Me.
Wow. The phones have lit up like a pinball machine.
Operators standing by right now.
Yes. And that I'm glad you brought that up, because that reminds me. I don't know if any of our listeners are doing any estate planning, but think of us when you do your estate planning. Wouldn't you like to leave a long-lasting
We
legacy
could have a
supporting?
big Papa mausoleum.
Well, that too, right? Or a case
Let's
of vodka.
first supply ourselves with alcohol, and then we can think about building a mausoleum.
Good
First
call.
things first.
Yeah.
It
Thank
could be
you,
a
Sasha.
tavern.
Good call,
It could
Sasha.
be a tavern also.
Yeah.
They could visit our sites.
Yeah.
And we have a slot machine. They could put quarters in.
So what did you guys, what did you think of this book? Lynn, I know you liked it
I
a
like
lot.
the book. I wish it would be out because I would buy it. It's really
It's
a great
available
book.
on Amazon right now
It
for
is.
$12.23 hardcover,
You're kidding.
which is
That's
what
a
we have.
phenomenal price.
Yes, order it for me,
actually
will you
is.
please?
I am gonna-
Caleb?
Yeah, we're going to have a link on the website, mybigfatbloodymary.com. The first thing you'll see is the donation, and I encourage you to click on the PayPal button and give generously. But we're
1-800
also
Big Papa.
we're going to
And
have a link to
you could do
the
it. Sorry.
the book that you can buy on Amazon. And I did not realize that you could get it for under $13. That's an
You
incredible
told me
value.
I couldn't even get it.
I know. I was wrong. We got a few advanced copies of some books to review. This is one that actually is available, though.
You could give a donation for a birthday present or a Christmas present to Big Papa.
Yeah, that'd be a great gift.
Or you could buy the book.
If you buy the book, actually 6% of your purchase price goes to fund alcohol research.
You're so
story.
full of shit.
No, that is actually true.
Is it really
It's
actually
full
true?
of alcohol.
That is true.
You made that up even though it's not true.
I'm speechless.
You know.
Now, if you pledge $500 a month, we will send you the book,
And me.
and we'll come to your house and hang
Yes.
out and just do chores.
Yeah.
No, we will come to your house
Become a
and drink with
sustaining
you.
member.
We will drink while doing our chores.
When I say sustaining
In
member,
costume.
I mean sustaining our intoxication. Caleb, what was your thought on the book? You spent quite a bit of time with it.
I did. I really like, this reminds me of a story of somebody who's in the industry with wine, and they pay people to come up with those descriptions, and I love the wordsmithing that's done in that. Anybody who appreciates anything about fine cocktails would enjoy this book. In fact, there are a couple of reviews that are on Amazon for this, and one of them says it makes a great gift, and it really does for
Really?
anybody.
I'm buying it.
It really is. It's very well done and kind of takes you back to the 60s and the 50s and the 40s. It really
Speaking
does.
of cocktails, I've been asked to bring my sidecar stuff because I make great sidecars to Kansas next weekend.
Yeah.
There's a recipe for sidecars in that book.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, but
There's
it's
the
not as good
modified
as
or the-
mine.
Really? Well, you could have brought that,
Well, I could have, but you told me you were all covered.
That's true.
I asked you this-
1-800-BIG-PAPA to make a donation to Lynn's trip to Kansas.
I want to hear what Sasha and Eloise think about the book too. I want to read quick the dedication. There is a quote in here that really captures the spirit of this book and also kind of the way I look at life. This is from The Fine Art of Mixing Drinks, and here's what they say. The well-made cocktail is one of the most gracious of drinks. It pleases the senses. The shared delight of those who partake in common of this refreshing nectar breaks the ice of formal reserve. Taut nerves relax, taut muscles relax, tired eyes brighten, tongues loosen, friendships deepen, and sometimes women go home with me.
If the lights are out.
I added that last part.
Good try.
Yeah. Sasha, what you got a good read. What did you think of this book?
I enjoyed this book. It was
Yeah.
informative, and the recipes were delicious. Every section, it was
Yeah.
broke down into sections, and every section went over a certain kind of drink. And
Yep.
every recipe led with a little bit of history sometimes about the drink or where it came from. It was good. I
Yeah, that
enjoyed
is
it.
kind of nice. It gives you a little bit of, it puts you right there. You kind
Right.
of like, how
Yeah,
it was
they had-
developed and where.
Did
Some
it
good
make you want to
quotes.
outfit your whole house with the bar? Because I don't have that spoon.
Yeah, they go
Right.
over the
Yeah.
different tools you should have in your arsenal.
I
That's
have
pretty
Right.
cool.
most of the tools, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eloise, did you read this? Did you do your homework?
I did, as a matter of fact. I read the entire book. I don't
Yeah.
recall that last bit from the intro you just said,
I made it up.
taking someone home. Yeah, I heard.
I might have.
Yeah, I think if I could have a book intro, I might want to say something like that. But this
Right.
is a little classy. So
A little more than we are, yeah.
I definitely enjoyed the book. It was very informative. I do now want to buy every type of liquor and bitter and
Right.
I mean,
We've
you
made
could just go
hundreds.
on and
Simple
on.
syrups?
Yes, make simple syrups
I did
by the
already.
dozen. So
Yeah. I know some of these recipes, like 4 of the ingredients, I had no idea what they even were. I mean, these are kind of highfalutin drinks, but oh God, they sound so good, and the pictures are really great too. They make
Yeah.
it look even, yeah.
there's one that comes to mind. It's Earl Grey tea infused. I
yeah.
want to infuse all of my liquor now.
Yeah. And why not?
They're converted. Hallelujah.
Yeah. And I want to mention that My Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast is thankful for the support we receive from the many people across the country who count on and care about the news and programming we provide. Gifts of any size from our growing audience on air and online help us fulfill our shared mission to create a more intoxicated public. Garrison, what did you think of the book?
Well, I thought it was an excellent book, published just this year by Sky Horse Publishing, and it's very nice hardcover book. So when you spill
Very
your cocktail
elegant.
shaker over it, it's not going to be ruined. You can pick it up and just wipe it off.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of Bach's Goldberg Variations. You had your key composition, but then you could go in all these different directions,
Right.
very much like Bach and the Goldberg Variations. Now, many people in America believe that the Goldberg Variations are what Mr. and
what
Mrs.
the hell are the Goldberg variations, Garrison?
Well, some people believe it's what Mr. and Mrs. Goldberg did on their wedding night, but it's not true.
I was trying to
that
pretend
is
I knew
not.
what he meant.
Not true.
I never
no,
pretend.
But there's just hundreds of recordings of Bach's variations. So this book reminded me so much of that.
Yeah.
Are you doing obscure profanity right now?
That's my line.
Doing
I want
my
you to
best
move
be
your
boring.
leg over here and turn sideways. I call this the Goldberg variation. It only hurts a little at first. It could be. It could be. Wow.
I'm just trying to be boring.
Yeah. It's
It's working.
It is the public radio edition.
But I suppose I could slow down a little bit.
Take it easy, man. I mean,
am.
the pledge drive runs all week.
I am speaking very fast, so I try, and keep up.
Keep trying.
Yeah. Gosh, I heard your replacement on the Prairie Bone Companion. the other
Yes,
night.
yes,
I don't want
Chris-
to
Chris
infringe
did.
on any copyrights, so we'll call it the Prairie Bone Companion. And boy, that guy was really annoying.
It was annoying, but now granted, I have been mailing it in for about the last 15 years, so it's nice to have someone who actually gives a shit about that program.
He gives too much of a shit.
I can only talk so much about the toasted cheese sandwich down at the Sidetrack Cafe or whatever. And after a while, I'm out of ideas. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that phone number, 1-800-BIG-PAPA.
1-800 Papa.
I do appreciate it when our listeners refer to me as Big Papa.
Big Papa. You know why we refer to him as Big Papa?
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, you don't. Hey, you know what? Before we get too boring, I think it might be nice to hear a song. Now, I understand Scarlett and Garrison, you guys have put together a duet today. Is that
I
right?
heard about it, but yes, we didn't really put it together.
Smokes. Well, it'll be interesting to
It will
hear.
come together, believe me. It's going to be magical.
And I have no doubt about it. So with no further ado, let's move right on to that.
Quit talking, Greg. I came to hear Lynn sing.
You don't bring me flowers. You don't sing me love songs.
You hardly talk to me anymore when I come through the door at the end of the day.
I remember when you couldn't wait to love me. You used to hate to leave me. Now after loving me late at night,
Well, it's good for you, babe, and you're feeling all right.
well, you just roll over and then turn out the light. And you don't bring me flowers anymore. Jeez.
It's to talk about forever.
Used to be.
But it used to be's don't count anymore. They just lay on the floor till we sweep them away.
Baby, I remember all the things you taught me.
I learned how to laugh and I learned how to cry.
Well, I learned how to love, and I learned how to lie.
So you think I could learn how to tell you goodbye?
So you think I could learn how to tell you goodbye? You don't bring me flowers anymore. You think, well,
Well,
you think
I
could learn how to tell you goodbye.
You don't say you need me.
You don't sing my love song. You don't bring me flowers anymore.
I didn't see that coming.
Here,
You guys. Wow. Thanks again, you guys. That was an amazing rendition. I can't say I've ever
Yes.
heard anything quite like it.
I've
And
never done anything quite like that.
yeah, boy, I don't know if our listeners, if you would like to support such things, by all means, go to mybigfatbloodymary.com and click on the Donate Now button. We really do work you hard, Lynn. That's why I give you such a long leash.
That's why I
because
take every other week off.
you work so hard. And just when you thought you could take a break, we're going to come at you again with the Ask Scarlett. So we do have a question for Scarlett.
Can I have a shot?
And we're going to get to it once we've all had a drink.
Good. Right.
Yeah. So this next drink from the book is, I think you guys are really going to like it. I'll tell you a little bit about it.
I like it
It's-
already.
It's as I said, they start out with kind of the classic recipe, and then they vary from that and with little tweaks and variations. And this one is called a margatini, and you might guess that it's a blending of sort of the margarita and a martini. It's a-
Eloise will like this if it's tequila.
I think so.
Yes,
I
this
hope
is
so.
true.
It's a cross between a martini and a margarita, and it was invented during the early 1990s at Handsome Harry's in Naples, Florida. Tequila adds depth and spark, while savory flavors of pineapple and pomegranate counteract tart, slightly bitter tones of the native thin-skinned limes. This stuff is really good. So I went ahead and made some up, and I've taken some martini glasses and rimmed them with sugar. And we're going to go ahead and just shake this and
This
strain
is
them out.
quite highbrow.
Aren't we, though?
Really living up to the.
Yeah.
You ought to see the way we're dressed.
We look really good.
We do.
We look really good.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes.
While he's pouring, once
Joaquin
again,
has his tails on.
remember, keep that phone number in line. Our operators are standing by. 1-800-BIG-PAPA. And if they don't answer immediately, just hang on. They're taking other calls from other listeners who are generously donating thousands and thousands of dollars to the cause. 1-800-BIG-PAPA.
And we do have a matching challenge out there. If you can match us drink for drink and still not be passed out, we'll send you a copy of the book.
Do we have a DVD or anything that we can also offer as a premium for donating?
How about Big
to the
Liquor?
cause, or-
Any donations over $100 per month,
We'll give you a sticker.
Those folks will receive a My Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast sticker.
Can you just shake that a little more?
Right. That glass
Like
is
I need
awfully
the money.
low. It's not a really good pour. Now, Caleb got a pretty good pour.
There you go. So I am pouring and shaking. I want to get this really nicely chilled.
You might want to clarify that you're shaking the booze and not shaking your body.
Your moneymaker, darling.
At my age and weight, it's hard to separate the two.
Maybe we should go over to the tote board, and Garrison can give us an idea of where we're at in terms of money that's
Look
been
at that
raised
pour.
this hour.
We
Garrison.
have
Luscious.
raised not a red cent, not one,
Not one.
not a penny. But
Damn it.
I'm starting to feel warm, and all that kind of boozy.
looking hot.
And absolutely.
Especially from the backside.
But it's just.
Oh, thank you for that update at the tote board there.
So we haven't
come back
reached
to
our
you.
goal yet.
I love
But
my
there's
sugar-rimmed glass.
There's still time. There's still time. So you guys all have one of these?
Let's do it.
The margatini. Let's give it a taste.
Oh, my God. It does taste like a tequila margarita. Cheers.
It's stronger though. It's
wow.
more like a it's
Wow. I'm
martini
not
strength.
going to make it to West Salem. Sorry.
Yeah. Here's what you guys are drinking. It's 2 ounces of tequila, an ounce of pineapple juice, and an ounce of pomegranate juice, and a half ounce of key lime juice. And as you see, you have a lime for garnish. And I've rimmed the glass with sugar.
This is wonderful.
I'm going to be so drunk when I leave here.
Yeah, I mean, so what we're drinking here is all of those ingredients I mentioned, and just poured into an ice-filled shaker, shaken
Gently.
shaken vigorously.
Vigorously?
Yeah,
I thought that was a
and-
gentle.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I thought
haven't
you weren't
seen
supposed to
vigorous.
mix the molecules. They were supposed to float on one another.
You didn't do it right.
we're not
did
ready for the obscure profanity yet, Sasha.
I guess not ready for a critique.
Hold
either,
on, put the
especially
brakes on.
him.
Yeah, so that's what we're drinking, and man, this is
really good.
yeah. You read this book, and seriously, your mouth waters at some of these recipes, and this is one that just stopped me, and I thought, oh yeah, we gotta have that. So I really like it. You guys like this?
I'm on board with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Very
Cheers.
inspiring.
Cheers, cheers. Here we go.
Well, I want to encourage
1-800 Big Papa.
our cast members then to go ahead and contribute. I don't know if you guys knew there's a website.
I'm already contributing.
Yes, you are. I know. You should each get your own website where I can contribute to. So while we enjoy this, I think I'd like to hit up Scarlett with a
Scarlett.
question
Okay, go ahead.
from one of our listeners.
Joaquin.
So Scarlett, this question comes from Carrie on Facebook. Carrie would like to know, I am a 23-year-old liberated woman who has been on the pill for 2 years. It's getting expensive, and I think my boyfriend should share half the cost. But I don't know him well enough to discuss money with him.
How many years, Carrie? 2?
Yeah, she's been on the pill
Oh,
for 2 years.
She's been on a pill 2 years, but not with her boyfriend 2 years.
She doesn't really say. Yeah.
Well, that'd be interesting to know.
But she'd like him to start kind of footing the bill for that. I mean, he's obviously benefiting to some degree. But yet,
To some degree?
I can understand, you've been in an intimate relationship with someone for a couple of years, but you haven't hit that point where you actually want to talk about money.
She could put a tip jar in her bedroom.
Drop the mic right now.
Oh.
Next.
Yeah.
Put a jar in her bed. If you value insights like you just heard, by all means,
1-800 Big Papa.
I don't know that you need to
So-
really elaborate at
No,
all.
I think she's given her answer. I think it's right there. I think she did it.
Or a slot machine with condoms in it.
This is outside of the box. You're not going to hear this on commercial radio. You wouldn't.
And we're doing the highbrow version
Oh,
of
I forgot. Okay. Highbrow version would be have a pledge form in your bedroom.
sustaining level.
And see how long you can sustain. Or abstain.
Yeah. Wow.
This is out of control.
I gotta thank Carrie for that question. I think she just threw Babe Ruth like just this big can of corn. That was a great question. If you have a question for Scarlett or Lynn when she comes back, hit us up. Facebook's a good place, or Twitter. And as you can see, Lynn will knock that thing out of the park. So go ahead and do that.
I think this is just a natural lead-in to obscure profanity.
Good call.
Time for today's profanity.
Actually, I don't think you people have ever listened to NPR. This is much to entertain you. You have to talk about folk music and cleaning your gutters and
I'm pretty sure
Who's a
cleaning your
good-
gutters is profane.
Oh, what a great segue, Garrison.
there's our lead-in.
Yep.
Cleaning your gutters.
On that note, so every week, our staff, our research department, the interns, and Erica scours the dregs of the internet to find obscene, offensive, obscure, profane expressions that our listeners might not know about. It's not the kind of thing you would hear on commercial radio, that you probably
You
hear.
hear it on television.
But we here on public radio, My Big Fat Bloody Mary podcast included, try to go the extra mile. And if you appreciate this kind of programming, by all means, become a sustaining member. So Eric is not with us today, but Sasha has offered to step in and share some obscure profanity with us today. Did you find anything cool?
Well, this is reading off of what Erica supplied for us.
Okay.
But damp squib.
A damp squib.
A damp squib. It's more of a usual term.
Okay.
Does anyone have a guess as to what that might be?
I'm not saying.
Does it have to do with personal hygiene or something?
It's like,
Moisture is involved.
Moisture.
You lost me at moist.
What is it?
Yes.
More of a usual term, a damp squib is a British slang term that refers to something which fails on all accounts. Coming from the squib, an explosive, and the propensity for them to fail when wet.
Oh, so it's not really that profane.
It's not
We're
reaching an
keeping
orgasm then.
We're keeping with sort of our more highbrow
Absolutely.
Yes.
But that's a good, right.
Yeah, that was good.
I
It's
still
just-
won't understand
It's
it.
a fail. It's a complete fail. Like a wet fuse or,
Get
just
out
a
of my
dud.
bed.
Shard.
Dud. So like if you, Lynn, for example, whoever you bring home tonight,
Yes.
if he failed to perform, and of
Oh,
course that would be his
Lord.
fault, not yours, he might call him a damp squib.
Yeah.
I mean, to try to bring it a little more into the
It's
profane.
more like slam bam, thank you, ma'am.
Right.
Sure.
Would you like to hear the next
Ne-
one?
next on
I
the
don't
agenda.
know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chunder.
Chunder.
Like thunder, but with a C. They say it's not a wonderfully melodic word, but I feel this is
It's
pretty.
not wonderfully melodic.
Chunder is a part
Now it
and
is.
parcel of another British slang term. It means to vomit or to be sick.
Oh.
Chunder is almost always used in correlation with drunken nights or being hugely sick.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I ate a bad pizza last night after too many drinks and I chundered into the streets.
Isn't this the yawning tiger? What was the a
Yes.
couple weeks ago? The
Yeah.
Or the psychedelic yodeling. We've
Yes.
really got a lot of good, valuable terms for vomiting. Boy, that's the kind of stuff our listeners would
They'll
love to
think we're
support.
really highbrow when we say we chundered last night.
if you like what you hear,
Yeah.
1-800
Big Papa.
Next on the agenda.
Murph.
Oh, we know
What?
Murph.
Murph?
Not MILF.
Not that
Do
Murph.
not mistake it for
Oh,
MILF.
oh, oh.
Opposite
How's
of
it
MILF.
spelled?
MERF. It's a noun.
Oh, is this an acronym or a
Acronym. Would you like to make a guess?
Murph?
You misspelled that. MIRF.
Oh, I'm so
I should
sorry.
know.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So this is a Murph. Well, we all know what a MILF is. Is it
A
something
mistake.
like that?
That's me. Excuse me.
Oh, that's right. You are a mom. The other part given. Whoops. What's a MIRF?
Acronym for Mom I'd Run From. A mom you definitely do not want.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. So it's the.
That's sad.
I don't know where she gets her good looks. Her mom is a Murph.
Pretty cut and dry there, you know.
My, that's
Classy.
mean.
Classy.
I don't know. Some of us do have ex-wives, so.
All right.
Some
Let's
men-
go to the next one,
have one
Scarlett.
more.
I
My
understand.
ex-husband loves me.
Please.
Farting terms.
Okay.
A milestone in a new relationship where both parties, male and female, feel at ease when breaking wind in front of one another.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I guess that's never going to happen.
True
It
love.
takes a while. It takes a while. So would that be something you could update on your Facebook profile? Like, so and so is in a relationship or has entered farting terms
Yes.
with someone?
Right.
Yeah, boy, that's a
Absolutely.
cause for celebration.
No, it does not mean you're intimate. It means you're a slob, and you should not do that.
Thank you.
Or otherwise known as the sweatpant phase. Right? You didn't think the farting was gross, but the sweatpants, that you found gross. I like that.
I feel like it should always be private. Sweatpants and farting.
Yes, I
And
agree.
burping.
Amen, sister.
And picking your nose in front of me.
Hopefully, this is moving our listeners to donate at 1-800 Big
Big
Papa.
shameless. We are shameless. But so is public radio. Well, is that all of them?
That's all of it.
Yeah.
But I would like to
Josie,
read
no.
the example sentence if you don't mind.
I would
For
love it.
farting terms.
Okay.
Please.
Yes, please.
You've been with that bird for time, and you're not even on farting terms yet? Do you have to go to the bathroom every time you need to rasp?
Rasp?
I believe that's the term for farting.
Yeah. It sounds, yeah, that's a great. Man,
Okay.
I wish I could write the way these people who come up with these things could write.
You
That's
can.
great.
You don't
can.
even know it.
Really? I
You
just have to
speak-
believe
you
in
speak that
myself.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again. Do I really?
Man, I'm just out of it. Well, I'm quite drunk here. This is a lot of tequila.
I have almost a full glass yet
Fantastic.
because I'm taking mine home. I'm putting it in the freezer.
Are you? You're going to make a
Slush
a
for later tonight.
Man, that would be good. So the book, Remixology, holy cow! I think we're all in agreement. This is a fantastic
Yes.
read.
I'm
It's
buying
more
it.
of a valuable thing you just want to
What
have
a
in your-
great price.
in your kitchen.
Just Google it and you'll find it at Amazon.
Amazing.
So I mean, what I'm holding is a hardcover book that is, it's full of really nice photographs and probably would there be 100 recipes in here? Maybe
Oh,
70 or
A lot.
there's a lot of really good recipes. If you could get this for $12,
And thank God I have an
I'd be amazed.
Amazon account, so this is going to be a great
yeah,
Christmas gift.
I think probably everybody in the room is going to end up with a copy of this because it really
Oh,
is
are we taking it
fantastic.
out of our slush fund from our pledges?
Well, we'll see how the pledge drive goes. you
I
know?
think it's a good deal because you're going to be spending more of your money on all of the
well.
accoutrements for filling up your
I have
alcohol
I have
cabinet.
most of them already.
She
Right.
used the term accoutrements. That's a very
Yes, yes.
highbrow term.
My.
Well,
yes,
it is
I'm
the public
impressed.
radio
She
edition.
reads.
It is.
Eloise.
I read.
Yeah,
Eloise is a reader.
yeah.
Did you need the definition?
Yes, please. Of a
I've
reader.
lost control. I've completely lost control.
Excuse us.
In closing, then, was there anybody in the room that didn't love this book? By the way, speak now and forever be fired. No, I'm kidding.
We can't fire us. We're
You guys-
volunteers.
I know.
Unless we're getting paid.
This is great. This is really great.
Yes,
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
everyone liked the book.
Oh, absolutely. So it's a great book.
Like toasted cheese sandwiches too.
Yeah.
And
So I'll put a link onto the website, mybigfatbloodymary.com, where you can buy the book for, I guess, under $13.
Under $13.
Yeah, and I would really highly encourage you to do that. If you like what we're doing, keep up with us on Facebook, My Big Fat Bloody Mary Podcast. We're on the web at mybigfatbloodymary.com. Hit us up on Twitter at mybigfatbloodymary, and we're also on Instagram, Big Fat Bloody Mary, and we're on Snapchat as well at Big Papa. And I do
Big
appreciate
Papa.
it when you call me Big Papa.
Big Papa.
Big Papa.
So thanks a lot, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We're going to review Boneyard Bloody Mary Mix, and this stuff is hilarious. It's made by the band Royal Bliss. Have you heard of these guys?
No, and I won't
There's
be
some kind of
here.
hard rocking alt country guys, and they actually came up with a Bloody Mary mix. They sent us a whole packet of the seasonings, and actually they have their own condoms that say
Oh,
bone.
can I get one?
Did you
Yes.
mean
I'm gonna be gone.
Did you mean condiments?
No, they're actual.
Accoutrements. Accoutrements.
Accoutrements.
Next time, Scarlett's going to say, "Did you bring your accoutrement with you?"
Yeah.
This
But
is
the-
a great preview for next week.
Yeah, they're actual condoms, and they bear the logo of the Bloody Mary mix and the term "bone responsibly." So it gives you a little insight into the company. So join us next week. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for your support.